Tuesday night was not the first time Senator Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire primary. He won it 4 years ago against Hillary Clinton. Our CBS News political correspondent Ed O'Keefe spoke with Sanders about this year's victory.
Senator, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
And congratulations on last night.
Thank
You're now
you.
the only non-president to win consecutive New Hampshire primaries.
All right.
How did you do it?
We put together an extraordinary coalition. We won very well among working people, lower-income people, young people. And I think people who are tired of status quo politics when the people on top have so much wealth and so much power when so many other people are struggling.
And how do you adapt what you've done now in Iowa and New Hampshire to these larger, more diverse states that are coming up?
Well, one of the things that we have built, Ed, is, I think, a unique multi-generational, multiracial coalition. And I think what you're going to see in Nevada and you're going to see in South Carolina is us doing very, very well within the African-American community and the Latino community and among working class folks in all the states.
In Nevada, you know, there is a influential union, the Culinary Workers Union, that last night issued some literature to their members warning them that your Medicare for All plan would, as I read it here, end culinary health care.
No, well, that's not accurate. We'll be talking to the union. It's a great union, and we're going to have some conversations with it. What Medicare for All does will provide comprehensive health care to every man, woman, and child. We will expand Medicare to include dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, and home health care. And every worker in America will pay substantially less for health care than he or she is paying right now.
And the transition is probably part of the issue that they're concerned about, obviously.
Well, it's a 4-year transition. We start off in year 1 going from 65 years of age to eligibility down to 55, then down to 45, down to 35. But at the end of the day, Ed, we have got to ask ourselves why it is that we're spending twice as much per person on health care as the people of any other country, and yet 87 million of us are uninsured or underinsured, while the insurance companies and the drug companies make tens of billions in profit.
You've talked about building a revolution. Nobody disputes you won last night. But a few of your competitors, looking at the numbers, will point out, well, he won overwhelmingly 4 years ago. He won barely 30%, not even, it looks like, this time around. Independents turned out, but weren't necessarily all for you. Young people turned out, but not at the numbers I think your team would have preferred. Are you going to be able, in these larger states with more diverse class of voters who don't know you as well, who maybe only know you as the self-described democratic socialist who is for Medicare for all, you're going to be able to win?
Yeah, I think we will. I think we stand an excellent chance to win in Nevada. I think we have a strong shot in South Carolina. We're building the kind of coalitions we need. But in terms of yesterday's vote, you know, last time, 4 years ago, I ran against one person. This time we had 8 people. You're not going to get the same percentage of the vote as you did last time. But I'm very proud that we won the popular vote in Iowa. We won the vote last night. I think we stand an excellent chance of winning in Nevada and in South Carolina as well. We're doing really well in California, I should say.
Is there a state you are targeting that you believe you can win more than 30% of the vote in a crowded field?
Well, first of all, I think the answer is yes. I think we're looking very good in California. And I'll tell you, I think we're going to surprise some people in Nevada, do much better than people think in South Carolina.
Before you took the stage last night, you may not know this, your supporters saw up on a large TV screen Mayor Buttigieg giving his speech, and they started chanting, "Wall Street Pete, Wall Street Pete." Some of your other supporters call him Mayo Pete, not Mayor, but Mayo, because he's struggling to find support among African-American and Latino voters. Should they be doing that?
No, I think what we want to do is to understand that this is going to be a hotly contested Democratic primary. But at the end of the day, absolutely and positively, all of the Democratic candidates, including me, I certainly hope that I win the nomination, but I think we are all united in understanding that it is an absolute imperative that we come together to defeat Donald Trump. And I hope very much that in the rest of this Democratic primary, what we have is a campaign not based on personal attacks, not based on opposition research, but simply a debate over the issues. Mayor Buttigieg and I, Amy Klobuchar and I, Elizabeth Warren and I have differences of opinion. That's called democracy. That's a good thing. But I hope we do not descend into personal attacks.
So if your supporters are doing or saying things like that, you tell
I
them.
think we have to, that's right, we have to respect other people, and we all, at the end of the day, we're all going to come together to defeat Donald Trump.
Sure. Senator Klobuchar calls you a friend, had a strong third-place finish last night, but has concerns about your positions. Given that she's now emerged as one of your top competitors, why are you a better choice than her? What about her campaign doesn't
Let me
qualify
just
her?
say this on our positions. You know, I know if some in the establishment on Wall Street think our positions are very radical. They're not. They're exactly what the American people want. People want to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. They want the wealthy and the billionaire class to start paying their fair share of taxes. They want to make higher education available to all, regardless of income. And by the way, the overwhelming majority of the American people now understand healthcare is a human right, not a privilege. And lastly, climate change is an existential threat to this planet. People want us to deal with it in a very aggressive and forceful way. So I don't think the issues that we're talking about are issues that are out of the mainstream. I think they are what the American people want. Now, I do understand that we get the corporate elite nervous. I get that. We get the political establishment nervous. I get that. But at the end of the day, what the American people want is a government that represents all of us, not just the people on top.
Speaking of the wealthy, you've obviously raised concerns about the candidacy of Mayor Bloomberg.
Yes.
You've said that he's trying to buy the election with his wealth. There's another issue he's facing. Audio of a speech he gave back in 2015 defending the stop and frisk policy that was used in New York. He's since apologized for embracing that position. But I'm just curious, especially as you now go into places where this is going to be a more immediate concern to voters, what you make of his previous comments, his apology, and how you would handle
Well,
those
let me
issues
just say
then.
two things. First of all, I have nothing against Mayor Bloomberg personally, and he's like every other American has the right to run for president. But I think it speaks to the corruption of our political system, where somebody who is worth $60 billion can avoid going into Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina. He doesn't have to worry about that. And all he has to do is spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on TV ads. To my mind, that is not called democracy. In terms of your other question, we will deal with that on the debate stage very shortly.
I was going to ask you, when he ends up on a debate stage, what would you want to talk to him about?
Wait and see. All right? Okay, thanks very much.